Hello, welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, President Granger emphasized government's commitment to indigenous peoples at the opening of the National Two Shows Conference. Ghana's first major roundabout 50% complete. 4 more railway embankment bridges to be repaired. 6 teams participate in ICT bootcamp, and the Carifesta is on the way. Stay tuned for the details of these and more.
Daddy!
Now for the details. The head of state emphasizes government's commitment to indigenous peoples as the 11th annual National Two Shows Council Conference opens. Crystal Stull has our first report.
Under the theme Good Governance, a Bright Future for Guyana's First Peoples, the conference began today at the Cyril Potter College of Education, Turkine. Declaring the event open, President Brigadier David Granger stated that Guyana will mark its 10th year of the adoption of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples in September.
The Declaration recognizes the right of indigenous peoples to belong to an indigenous community. It is in their own community that indigenous peoples will be better able to practice, preserve, and promote their distinct way of life.
The president added government has a responsibility to enhance the lives of the indigenous people in all sectors, and education is a priority.
We must work together to improve the standard of education in terms of the 3 A's: access, attendance, and achievement, especially in the primary and secondary schools in our hinterland communities. Indigenous communities must not be left behind. So governance must come first in the field of education. If we're not satisfied, we're trying to get children in school, and we want you to help us to achieve that objective.
He explained whilst the government is working towards providing the hinterland communities with potable water, all must guard against riverine pollution.
We are working to provide year-round pure water supply to these communities. But we must also work together to prevent the pollution of our rivers. These rivers are used by our communities for cooking, for cleaning, for drinking, and for washing. Pollution caused by reckless mining and logging threatens the lives and the livelihood of our people and their communities.
Government will continue to work along with the NTC to improve the livelihood of Amerindian communities throughout the country, the head of state also emphasized. Crystal Stull for InfoHub.
Minister Sidney Allicock calls for better partnerships for sustainable livelihood and the good life. Sunika Thorne has the details.
Minister Allicock said that this is the final year for the NTC and the village councils across the country. He urged indigenous leaders to work towards leaving a legacy for generations to follow.
I challenge you, therefore, to examine your own stewardship, identify your successes, confront your shortcomings, and work in the remaining months of the term to ensure that the legacy you leave will be celebrated by the generations to come. Remember that if we made no mistakes, it means that we were doing nothing. But if we make the same mistakes twice, then we learn nothing from the first one.
Minister Allicock said that the government, through the ministry, has been working in partnership with the indigenous communities with tremendous success. The NTC chairman, Joel Fredericks, says that the indigenous body is open to discussions with the government and will continue to partner with them on the way forward.
We will make this commitment, Mr. President, to work together and all our Tushos communities. Are you with me on this? Come on, Tusho, are you with me on this? I can't hear you. We are willing to work together to build this nation.
Minister Valerie Garrido-Lowe spoke of the government's commitment to ensuring projects and programs are implemented to boost hinterland communities' economic development.
Your government is willing to do everything possible to bring economic empowerment and dignity back to our indigenous peoples. Brothers and sisters, this has to be a two-way street. where your government and you have to see and agree on that vision. Then the hard work begins.
This to dialogue on issues such as Amerindian land titling, the revision of the Amerindian Act, and Indigenous rights in general. For Info Hub, Sinika Thorne.
Ghana's first major roundabout is halfway done, and for the project to be completed, some road closures will be necessary from Wednesday. So Neil Williams has more.
In a few months, the Vicinjon Road and Carifesta Avenue junction will be transformed into a modern, traffic-friendly roundabout. With the project halfway through, maintenance engineer Sherrod Parkinson said that there will be need for some road closures to facilitate the third phase of the project.
Contractors completed the Carifesta Avenue leg and is presently working on the Kitty Public Road Sandal Place leg. Works have been completed more or less on the section from Sandal Place extended to the center of the carriageway. For the next phase of the work, we have to close the road this is from Kitty Public Road heading west. For that phase of the works, traffic will be diverted through Alexander Street. We are asking motorists to take precaution as they use the Alexander Street, Davis Street, Bar Street access to get into the rush hour.
Roundabouts allow for the smooth and hassle-free flow of traffic without lengthy delays and stops. The Kitty Public Road closure is expected to last for 3 weeks, and motorists and road users are being asked to exercise patience and use alternative routes during this period. Once completed, the project will move into its final phase of connecting all the roads. Weather permitting, the mega roundabout project is slated to be completed by year end. Zanil Williams for Info Hub.
Minister of Education Nicolette Henry led the Guyanese contingent at the opening of Carifesta 13.
Carifesta 13, Barbados.
The Guyanese delegation, headed by Minister of Education Nicolette Henry, Permanent Secretary Melissa Tucker, and other officials, took to the streets in a kaleidoscope of colors, along with the other participants, and joyfully marched down the streets. Prime Minister for Barbados Frondel Stewart, CARICOM Secretary General Erwin LaRocque, Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports for Barbados Stephen Lashley, and other officials welcomed the various contingents into the Kensington Oval Ground. LaRocque told the large gathering that Carifesta is a force that binds the Caribbean countries and defines them uniquely.
It never fails to amaze me how this regional mega arts festival has the power to bring so many of us together from all over the region and well beyond. But such is the power of culture and the arts. It is a cornerstone of our regional integration movement and a force that binds us, a force that inspires us, and a force which defines us in a way that is unique.
Minister Stephen Lashley used the opportunity to call on the contingents to work harder for regional integration.
Over the years, Carifesta has had its challenges. However, the vision for the festival has never waned. The tenacity of spirit exhibited by leaders in the cultural sphere, successive regional governments, and the CARICOM Secretariat together permitted Carifesta to survive a hiatus of 11 years and return stronger than ever in 1992.
Lashley also highlighted that a new strategic direction for Carifesta is being sought, which is intended to position the festival as a world-renowned festival of Caribbean culture and artistic excellence. The Caribbean Festival of Arts, Carifesta, was birthed from a regional gathering of artists who were participating in a writers' and artists' convention in Georgetown, Guyana in 1970. From Christchurch, Barbados, I am Renetta LaFleur. Stay tuned to DPI for more.
Carifesta 13, Barbados.
2 railway embankment bridges have been completed and 4 more are earmarked for rehabilitative works. Here is Zanil again with this report.
After just 2 weeks of constructive works on the Plaisance Bridge on the Railway Embankment Road, East Coast Demerara, it is now open to vehicular traffic.
Some $19 million was spent to upgrade the bridge at Plaisance. Maintenance engineer of the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Sherrod Parkinson, explained why the bridge had to undergo works.
Most of the bridges on the railway embankment are these aquaplaning bridges, or steel bridges. They've been there for quite some time, and some of the steel truss members are beginning to fail. We witnessed this with the Liliendal Bridge.
The engineer said that the Liliendal Bridge took more time because 2 piers had to be constructed.
The Liliendal Bridge was quite a long span, and we had to construct 2 piers in the middle. So although it has precast members, which were members that were prepared before we actually dismantled the old bridge, a lot of work had to be done to construct the piers so that we can rest the deck on. The Plaisance Bridge is just one short bridge, 30 feet. So when the contractor would have done the precast work, which is going on in the background before the public could see, when he comes and dismantles that bridge, it's just to rest on the decks and get the work completed. So it's much faster.
Works are expected to commence this week to reconstruct the Annandale and Lusignan bridges. Parkinson noted that both projects will be completed by year end. Zenil Williams for InfoHub.
There is value in being branded green, so said Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin. Gabriela Patram was at the closing ceremony of the Caribbean Green Tech Startup Bootcamp and explains this concept.
The camp, a collaboration of the Caribbean Climate Innovation Center, CCIC, and the Institute of Private Enterprise Development, IPED, ended last Saturday. Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin noted that there is value in being branded green.
There's a lot of green in the air, and the green state is slowly taking shape. And so much so that many people are now in their correspondence to various government officials, they're now including some aspect of greening to demonstrate the synergies that exist between what they are seeking to do and the government's green agenda.
The minister explained that the green state has a value due to increasing global awareness of climate change and how more environmentally friendly practices can mitigate the impacts of climate change. This new awareness places greater value on conservation and protection of the environment.
We need to find innovative ways to leverage the value of our natural surroundings. That is the green mission. We know that somehow our standing forest is worth more than the gold and the timber that we can extract from them. But we still need to find ways to turn this knowledge into money and profits.
He identified 3 ways in which Guyana green economy can be built.
Becoming green through the use of greener energy and technology and living practices. 2, preserving and protecting our natural greenness. And 3, finding ways to sell our greenness to the rest of the world.
Gabriela Patram for InfoHub.
Confidence and ability were displayed at the National Aquatic Center by participants during the Goodwill Games 2017 swim meet. Delon Sanko has more.
InfoHub spoke to some of the participants about their performance at the Games. Leanne Winter said that she was happy to win a silver medal in the 100 backstroke and break the meet record in the race.
I was happy because me and my mother had a deal if I broke the record, so I was excited. She said I could get a new technical suit and a new cap because I asked her for it if I broke the record. I told her last night, Mommy, if I break the record, can I please have a new technical suit? And she said, yes, I will, and I broke the record.
Leon Seaton said that he was happy to compete in the event of the Goodwill Games since this was his last year competing.
Really glad that I am attaining these goals and records because this is my last year in the age group and competing in the competition, because next year I would be attending the CRIFTA 2018 Games, which will be held in Jamaica, and once you go to the Games, you cannot come back to Goodwill.
We also spoke to some of the participants from the competing teams.
The competition is really nice. I get more experience with more countries than I usually compete with. And then in the meet, I only came here to really beat myself, beat my times.
Hey, I'm a butterflyer, so I was here at the Goodwill last year and I came second in 50 flights. So that was my real event for this year. So I came back, I swam it again, and I got second again. So I wanted the gold, but I mean, you can't complain, a medal is a medal.
The games was good for me. Pleased with my performance. Now I know that it's not just I realized that it's not just Trinidad here, it's other people in other countries. So even though we training hard, they could be training just as hard. So
The swim meet attracted participants from Guyana, Barbados, Suriname, St. Lucia, Grenada, Bahamas, and Trinidad and Tobago. It is designed to spread goodwill and good competitiveness among athletes. Delon Sanko for InfoHub.
Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media.